change, big freaking massive change. And if you aren't experiencing it directly yet, try looking at the people in your life around you and start thinking about if they are going through huge changes. Now, this is also a reflection because the outside is a reflection, a mirror back to ourselves. So if we're all of a sudden people that are hold a level of importance in our life or a familiarity are now going through a massive change, this mirrors back to you that something is also changing within yourself. Now, if you've watched my past videos, I've discussed that we've been going through, and I really thought the clearing phase was going to be shorter, but it's not. We've been going through this clearing phase. Well, let's just even back it up. This past year, massive freaking change. Like, you're changing every week. You're a new person. And in the last few weeks, month or so, there's this new level of like clearing. If you're dealing with like even intense kind of flashback triggers of deep kind of levels of pain that you kind of have laid low for a while but are all of a sudden hijacking you and getting attacked, it's so actually powerful and beautiful because you're clearing it, even though it's hell. It's hell, it's hell, it's hell, because most likely when you are getting hijacked by that, you are believing the story it's telling you. And even if you are believing the story it's telling you, doesn't mean that it's going to happen, because a lot of us that are, unaware of how powerful our minds are and how powerful we are in creating our own reality. And then that fear of aligning with the story that trigger is telling you, give yourself some freaking grace. And like, you have the allowance to feel like crap, to feel ugly, to feel like you're not going to make it, to feel scared of the thing that seems like the worst possible thing in the world. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But there's an integration happening with your shadow right now. So it's like the clearing detox, in addition to this like integration of these aspects of yourself that you have abandoned because those freaking feelings were so horrible to feel. Of course you abandon them. So you really, in essence, abandon yourself. And then this kind of coming together, release, integration that is then simultaneously leading you to one of the most abundant versions of yourself that is inwardly reflected in how you feel about yourself, and then mirrored on the outside in your life in a really beautiful, prosperous, abundant way. So, but it's a lot, and it's all for this next level of attaining really that version of you that you have been working toward manifesting for years. Okay? Like, you're really, this is the kind of end. Okay. So let's say for the last few years, you've been trying to manifest this thing and you're running towards the springboard to do the flip over to the thing that gets you the goal. I don't know. What are you, a gymnast? Absolutely. So you've been running towards this springboard for years. And the moment you're in now is the springboard. I think you've jumped on it. So you're in the jump. You've either just jumped on it or you're in the jump. Like, you're so freaking close. You're so freaking close. I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be so freaking, like, you are that person. You are that freaking person. You already are them now, but this is like, you're on the springboard jump of like really finally attuning with that frequency of that person. Okay, I'm Cara Elizabeth. I am the author, illustrator, and creator of Animal Apothecary Card Deck for Manifesting for Healing. Guys, this is like such an awesome deck. I created it for overcoming 18 years of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and the animals just give you so much uplifting wisdom and guidance, and each card was a prescription for me to be my most empowered self, super easy to use. It's on Amazon. It's sold internationally. It's everywhere. Link below to get your own deck. Also, we will be using the Body Tech deck, which I'm still in creation of, which is really understanding that your body is the most sophisticated technology and that we can align our thoughts and vision with certain movements, and using that intention with movements, we can heal, manifest, and release things that have been holding us back for so long. So we'll be using that deck too. Also, major freaking announcement. So some of you guys have heard that I was going to be doing, I was thinking my next workshop, I Am the Abundance, would be Sunday, November 10th, in person at Rama Yoga Center in New York City, and virtual access. And it looks like I have decided to instead, on that same date, do a live YouTube and just have you all freaking participate in this workshop. It'll be about an hour. I'm thinking 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour. I think I'm kind of like, I'm also, this is like new for me. So please sign up for my email list. All the information will come to you via my email blast of what exactly is going down. But I just think, like, I just want to spread this to as many people as possible. And YouTube Live is certainly has the ability to do that. Okay, so let's just get a quick energy reading on these different aspects of what is going on in our life. And I just want to also give a shout out to some pretty horrific pain that I think is emerging for a lot of people. And it is such an old wound. And just that compassion, for having that compassion for yourself to like endure that level of whatever that story is telling you, and that pain. I just honor that so hard in you. And I want you to know that that pain is like your greatest asset, and that we often look at our traumas and our pain as this thing that we want to avoid. But that pain is atomic bomb freaking energy. And you can use that pain to destroy yourself and destroy the ones you love, or you can use it to shine like the freaking sun. So that level of intense energy within you that feels so unbearable and scary and telling you something, there you have this ability to take that pain and to shape it and mold it and transmute it into your greatest freaking self, into shining a life that feels too good to be true. And the easiest first way to start is acknowledge that thing and have a conversation with it. You got to nourish this thing, being aware of it, and just ask it, what do you want to transmute into? Let's transmute this into this. And usually it's kind of like, sometimes it can just be the opposite of what it feels like. Sometimes it's just like, I want to transmute this fear into safety. But I think that usually there's some form of ability to transmute that into an even more expansive, magnetic version of yourself, like the sun. What is the most magnetic thing in our solar system? What does everything revolve around? It's the sun, and it's the same energy as in the atomic bomb, but instead it's using it to shine. So there is something that even just starting that conversation with that thing, having compassion for yourself that you're feeling that thing, even though at the freaking moment, even though when you're grounded and you're kind of empowered again, and you can kind of look at that trigger or that thing and know that, okay, that's probably not going to happen, or that's not really the truth, or maybe, everything is okay and I am safe. When I just, again, want to honor when you're in it, it is so real. It is so freaking real, the intensity of what it is telling you. But that intensity is freaking gold. It is gold and it lives in you. So my continuation of you working with me and me working with you, whatever, like if it's just readings, if it's my workshops, if it's whatever, we are here to transmute that, to turn it into your freaking brightest self, to turn it into your shine, to turn it into your most magnetic self, so you can share your gifts with humanity like you were created to. So let's get into the reading. Okay. Let's just ask this change just some guidance, like change the consciousness of this. Just, yeah, of course. I don't like looking at them before I do the whole reading, but okay. So, also, this is my first video. I got a mic. I'm putting it there because I feel like it'll bang against. And can I just say, like, there's no thing on my phone to be like, this is recording the sound. And I'm like, what if I just did this whole 20-30 minute thing and then it didn't actually record it? Whatever, who cares? Like, that's just my thoughts. It's fine. Okay, let's talk about this clearing, us clearing out these things that we are simultaneously, as we clear, there's like this new level of abundance that is coming in. So we're clearing these things out. And what is the consciousness of this clearing? Want to share with us? Any love, wisdom, guidance? All right, now our shadow that has just been coming up so much in a really intense way to be integrated. What do you want to share with us? This new level of abundance that we're here to step into. What does the abundance want to share with us? And this new version, like this new, shiny, new magnetic freaking version that we are so close to fully owning and embodying. And then any love, wisdom from our bodies. Take a big, deep breath in. Sigh out. All right. So funny. All right. Well, I love this. The change. Evolve into your complexities. So this talks about literally that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't really want to say literally because it's such like a filler word that we're not even using appropriately. So this metaphorically means exactly what this change is all about. Octopus expands in all directions. So there's a few things going on that it's really important that when in this growth, we're looking back on past versions of ourselves in a really empowered way. So whether it's your 6-year-old that went through that trauma, or your 30-year-old who was addicted to pills, or your 20-year-old who was just like spastic, whatever, start reflecting on how amazing and powerful, and start seeing them as very empowered. Because when you empower and see those versions of yourself empowered, they actually influence how empowered you are now. So you're expanding in all directions. Additionally, you've been expanding to hold this level of success that you've been yearning to jump into for years. Right now we're on that springboard, either about to hit it, either in the midst of the jump. But like, this is about your ability, your aura growing enough, this magnetic field around you growing enough to hold the level of success that you have yearned for, whether it's the love, the wealth, the ability to share your gifts, all of it, like, yes, all of it. you have to have, your aura has to have the muscles to actually hold the weight of that thing. So this is what's happening with your change and this evolution, because a lot of the amazing things that have evolved into these, I know it's not human, but these superhuman abilities that octopus holds is because of traumatic things, because it was trying to fight for its survival. It has created these capacities where it can be this dynamic shapeshifter. It can change its form to mirror another creature. It can put its tentacles on something and not only become that color, but change the texture of its skin to match that thing. It is a master escape artist. You will hear people who have like studied these creatures in labs or whatever, they're always escaping. So, and like in the most like you wouldn't even get how did it turn its body into this to get through the hole that was that big. So this is saying that this evolution and this honoring the hell you have gone through and the pain that you have gone through have also been catalysts to, and I'm just thinking right now that like so much of our traumas and our sufferings, that if we really kind of tap into those, obviously, if we decide not to go down the dark route and we decide to transmute those into light, and like when there is a point of humanity where we have evolved and actually value life, like we actually have evolved to the intelligence to see the sacredness of every living creature, and we're not in this like archaic viewpoint, and these like certain levels of trauma I think will be extinguished. Like they will be kind of, really barbaric. Like there's still women who are stoned to death, but that is so much more rare than it was in the past. So like these things, so my whole point is, I'm just thinking how like some of us really capitalize on the energy of our traumas and our pains, and that if there's less horrific trauma, like what kind of, I guess there's always suffering, right? I don't know. It'll just look different, but just thought for future existence of reality of like transmuting pain and different levels of, what we deal with as pain. Maybe we're just evolving to become so sensitive that, I think that there'll still be that level of pain. In the Baha'i teachings, it talks about that in the future. So the Baha'i is a faith. And it has these spiritual teachings about that humanity's evolution is the oneness of humanity, that like world peace. And even though we can't really conceive what that would even look like, is a part of the prophecy and evolution of, humanity's existence. And it says that we will evolve to the capacity where if someone is starving in another country, we will energetically feel it and like can't handle that. So we want to help, which is pretty profound. Okay. So what our clearing is asking to share with us, really interesting, nourish the shadow. So our clearing is actually talking about that. I think the clearing is really saying you're not so much clearing crap. You kind of are, but you're actually integrating the shadow and you're nourishing the shadow, because the Black Panther is all about this idea of like the thing we're really scared of isn't actually real. The thing we're really scared of looks different because we think Black Panther has black fur, but in the light of day, Black Panther is actually spotted and has browns and auburn colors. And Black Panther is this kind of mascot of facing these things to then uncover that it's not as horrific and horrible, that you actually are safe, because Black Panther is this guide. But here's the thing, is that Black Panther in this image is the aspect of us that these things were too painful to look at. And it's not saying that those painful things that in the past, like, well, it wasn't exactly that and it didn't happen to you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that where you are right now, that the truth is that that thing in the past that was very real and was very true in that experience is not really what's happening right now, that you might be reliving in a metaphorical way. So we take that shadow and we abandon it. We don't want to feel it, and we chain it up in the backyard of our consciousness, of our subconscious. And it's starving. It's starving for attention. It's starving for water, the well. It is starving for some kind of nourishment. And because we're ignoring it, it's becoming demented and more deranged and more demented as time goes on, because we're actually ignoring it. So now you have this like cripplingly demented shadow aspect of you that is double demented, because not only was it created out of something that was most likely demented or abandoning or just really difficult, then you ignored it, which like double-edged sword made it like more. So we're bringing this thing back in and we're nourishing it, and it's painful. It's really painful. And it is so beautiful if this stuff is coming up, because yes, you've been dealing with this stuff for years. It has been coming up for years, but it's different this time. It's different. You're ready to integrate it. And there's probably a lot of like, how, I don't even know. So guess what? The shadows, the next card is the guidance from the shadow movement is going to be huge. Shake, release, heal, move on. There is something that in these moments, any kind of movement you can do. And I just think like, in the moment of a huge trigger, if someone's like, you need to move, you need to like go and run, you need to like da 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 da. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about, because sometimes there's just like, I need to just feel safe. Like that's it. Like I'm not trying to do like a somatic freaking workout here. Like I'm so ungrounded. I'm so not in reality. I am scared and just like going just so, but this is about incorporating some kind of a movement with some level of intention, which we can, we'll pick a movement I'll share at the end of this reading that you can start just like doing throughout the next couple days to help that integration. And like one thing, I did this like body work thing the other day, and it was like bringing up a lot of stuff. And I did feel I do need to run. Like there's a level of intensity. It wasn't like I need to like soft movement. It was like I have to run. And then I started doing like a couple days where I would just like sprint for a minute and then jog back to my house. And I'm like, that's it. Like I don't need to like go run for, I don't know. Like for me, I'm like not interested in doing any kind of like body stuff that is like forever. I like the change. I like quick, let's straight to the point. Let's just like knock it out. Now, your abundance, I love this. The message from your abundance, prayer freaking answered. And we all, I don't know if you know this. I always love to say it, and like, we all know. And I'm like, wait. So there's a couple things with this card. First, the centuries ago, the Plain Indians, certain tribes would do this buffalo prayer dance before that they would go on the hunt for buffalo. And, you know, for me kind of studying this and looking from the outside, and, you know, there's this, someone dresses up like buffalo, and then there's a tribe member that dances in oneness in buffalo, and then they would go on the hunt for buffalo. And I'm like, wait, this dance, this prayer, this ceremony is actually acting as if their prayer has been answered. Like this is the most profoundly beautiful, sacred way to embody your prayer, is to act, try not to say literally, is to actually act it out. So, and the power of the representation of this buffalo for these peoples at this time was, it was food, it was shelter, it was toys, it was the herds would create these divots in the flat plains that allowed water to come through. It was life. It was literal abundance. Literally, it was abundance. It was abundance. So what abundance is sharing with us is that, one, act as if your prayer has been answered, and there is this abundance coming for you. But what else do you get? You get the B. So the B is about you fulfilling your purpose in this life. So act like your prayer has been answered. And the body card we pulled, I am the abundance. And guys, I'm telling you, so, and this is the Kuber mudra for abundance. It actually mixes a few different mudras, and you can do this and go on these like epic visual journeys with your hands in this movement and listening to dope music, seeing yourself just like hundreds of millions of golden coins coming out of you, spinning diamonds in your heart, seeing yourself as abundance. And this workshop that I'm doing is so freaking cool because we are aligning to embodying the abundance that we freaking are. And it will be through integration. It will be through understanding ourselves on this more elaborate everything level. Like we are pushing out our self-concept into a bigger version of ourselves to fill this like cup of abundance. Yeah, it'll be really cool. Again, sign up, link. There's no link below. Sign up for my email to get all the information when that is coming. This new version, our highest self is saying, you are what you think. So pink flamingo actually takes 3 years to become pink from eating the krill, the reddish pink krill it eats. It starts off white, and through this consistency of this ingestion of this familiar, this thing that it eats every single day, it becomes that. So yes, you are what you eat, but this is, you are what you freaking think. So this ingestion, this kind of like constantly coming back to this I am and claiming this I am and knowing that this is the freaking thing that I am. So I love that your newest highest version is just like, keep your thoughts in check. And I just want to, I feel like I want to pull a card for the part of us who feels scared, like from both the animals and our body. And then from our body. See beyond the past and choose confidence. So our fear is saying that there's something that happened to us in our past. So it's like the ugly duckling, right? Like when swans are baby ducks, they're gray, they have gangly necks, and like they're super freaking cute. But all in the story, all the ducks made fun of the little swan because he didn't look like a freaking duck, but he was never a duck. So this guy grows up, becomes this epically gorgeous swan who's also a unique black swan, and looks in the mirror of his reflection in the water to see this crying child self. So he sees himself through the eyes of this. So our fear is saying, whatever you're scared of, you're looking at it through the lens of a very hurt part of you, a part that might have been traumatized, a part where something not like something bad happened or something just really that skewed you in your past of your understanding of everything, something that was unsafe, something that was just not right. And you're looking at something that's ready to be integrated and coming up. And if you're scared, it's because you're seeing it through the eyes of that shadow self. So that's why we want to have a lot of compassion. And it is saying, our body is saying, okay, that fear is coming up and we're feeling all those things. And remember, I was like, you don't even have to like, in those moments, maybe it's not doing this like, go run or go do, you know, somatic hip flexors and blah, 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 and blah. This is actually saying, just lift your head. I would say lift your head. And choose confidence is about saying, I don't effing know how, but I'm going to get through this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure this out. So you're like scared, you're like this, and then it's, I am so freaking scared, but I know, I don't know how, but I'm going to get through this. And then if there is I know that's like the body movement, it's just fix your posture, but if there's any other body movement, just for this change, getting into embracing this change, that can be super helpful. Star pose, illuminate the world. Also, guys, go to my freaking website. This is one of them. I have free screensavers, and this is one of them, illuminate the world. So this is just getting in freaking star pose, guys. And what I like to do is actually, I'm going way down to just be in the camera lens. Get into it, and you're gonna say things that are super empowering, like do the I ams, like I am this, I am this. So the next couple of days, every day, just like in the morning, get in star pose and just like say like a few things, like I am this thing. Okay, I love you. World peace forever. Can we just take a moment to just send our own individual prayer? And even maybe like sending energy, if you feel like that's your vibe, with your hands and light, and just take a moment to share world peace and healing to all of humanity. So just if you could just see light around all the places in the world that really need this love right now, and just see peace, whatever that looks like. Even if, you know, just like for me, it's like light. I don't know. I don't even know what peace would look like. Just share the light. Okay, world peace forever. I freaking love you so much. Sign up for my email list.